The Commentary Booth is a show for media lovers by media lovers just like you. If you want to support the show, go to jamiapsmedia.com. Welcome to the Commentary Booth, the ultimate weekly entertainment recap and review show. My name is Jamie Apps, and each week I'll be joined by a rotating cast of co-hosts to run you through the entertainment media we've consumed during the week. Along the way, we'll provide you with insightful commentary and reviews. This week, I'm joined by a freelance social commentator who lists their favourite movie as American Psycho and favourite TV show as Peaky Blinders. Welcome back to the show, Blake Robinson.
Welcome back, Jamie Apps. Thank you for having me. Speaking of Peaky Blinders once again, big news this week. I don't know if you've seen.
Is it the 5th or 6th season they've officially started on?
Yeah, they're going to release this final season, but it's not going to be the finale to the show. They're releasing the finale as a feature-length film, which is very exciting. There was rumours of it ages ago. There was an interview with the producer, and someone asked would he ever consider doing a movie, and he sort of had one of those replies where it insisted that it is on the cards, and it is now. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so
what they're doing, like a season, and then at the end of it, it's going to be a movie or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
Yeah, so I don't know how they all, I guess they'll do 5-6 episodes and finish it off in a movie, which is pretty cool, something different.
It's a good way to cash in on the hype of it. Smart.
So, it's taken off in America, I've noticed a lot lately.
Yeah, with people in lockdown, they've now started to check it out and realise how good it is.
Yeah, the Americans are fully starting to get around the Peakies, which is cool.
What else have you been up to this week, trying not to sweat too much?
Yeah, it's disgraceful, isn't it? I hate this time of year.
It's so hot.
It's like, we've had a luxury so far, but this is always the hottest time of year. Not a fan of it at all. Big storm coming over right now, though. Bit of lightning, which is exciting. I hope it doesn't mess around the internet. But yeah, heaps of sport been happening, man. Heaps of sport. Basketball's in full swing. There's 100 games a day.
Yep. Cricket was all...
Yeah, it was different. It was definitely a different series. It's exciting, though. Full credit to India.
Yeah, I always prefer when it's a close series. Like, I hate when someone comes over and they just get thrashed every game. The games finish in 3.5 days. It's like, oh, this sucks. At least these were going 5.
Yeah, and even like normally the day 5 isn't too crash hot, but they're normally just playing out for a draw. But India's sort of the last couple had a proper go at it, which was good.
Yeah, they actually had a chance to win each game, which was nice.
Yeah, considering they weren't even going to play that Gabba test, I'm glad they did. Still would have been good to have another test, the Perth one, but these governments.
How's all the tennis players too?
Oh man, I'm a huge tennis fan, but this that shouldn't be going ahead.
Nah, not a chance.
I don't know what they were thinking. I remember about 6 months ago reading probably about that Dan Andrews saying how it's just too much at stake for them to cancel it for the government for like tourism and income. I'm sure there's heaps more behind closed doors, like corporate deals and whatnot.
Yeah, there'd be heaps of corporate contracts where they'd have to owe a whole heap of businesses money if they had to cancel it.
Oh yeah, So as bad as it is going ahead, they would have lost a lot of money not having it, I assume. I just think it just sets it up well for Ash Barty to come out and win. She's world number 1, home Grand Slam, and she's not stuck in a hotel room preparing. Yeah,
she can actually train properly, whereas everyone else is stuck.
She hasn't played a tournament in a long time, but still, it's got to be. It can't be good for your prep. Like, I've just seen all the videos on the news and whatnot of players hitting the ball up against the wall in the hotel room and doing workouts. It can't be good.
Yeah, how's what's his face's missus like losing her mind because she can't wash her hair? Like, it's not that hard.
Bro, she's a buffoon. What a couple. Yeah, she was on Love Island. I was like, hang on a minute, I swear that's the chick from Love Island, like last season. She's done the rounds since then. I don't know how she's ended up with Bernard Tomic.
I bet she's making a mint on bloody OnlyFans now, but...
Oh, Oh, bro, the subs would be skyrocketing. She knows what she's doing. Good on her. Good on her.
When she whinged about she hasn't washed her hair in a week. Like, okay. Like, you have too much money if you're paying someone just to wash your hair twice a week.
Yeah, I know, yeah. She's like, oh, I have to wash it myself. Damn, Devo.
So hard.
It is very hard. I have to do it every day myself, I know.
Oh, yeah, so apart from sweating, I've just been working away, planning some stuff.
Big things?
I think so. I think it's going to be exciting once it all gets off the ground. I've just got a few more T's to cross and I's to dot, and then we'll be on our way.
Yeah, good stuff.
Which will be fun.
So when's this all happening?
I'm hoping for March, but I'm thinking more it might be after that. So it might be like June and then kickstart the second half of the year.
Yep.
We'll see how we go. I've got to get some outside help on some things, and then we'll see how what their timelines are like as well. So
it's all a mystery.
Fingers crossed it all goes to plan, and I think it'll be an exciting time once it comes out.
For sure. So far, so good.
Yeah, I think I've found something nice. Like, it took me a while to find what I was looking for, but I think I've hit the nail on the head.
Are you going to tease everyone of what we're talking about?
Well, it's to do with the magazine that's under the Jamie Apps Media banner.
There you go.
So basically what I'm planning to do is like refresh the whole thing. So it's going to be, Jamie Apps Media is going to be the umbrella thing, and then there's going to be the commentary booth and something else that I'm not announcing the name of yet, but there'll be that other pillar of the brand, and then we can grow it all together and get some income coming in for everyone involved.
Very good. Exciting.
Outside of that, just been getting out of this heat, laying under the aircon, watching some stuff.
Yeah, I've been watching heaps, man. As is tradition, though, I'm always watching old stuff I've seen 100 times. I don't know, I'm just a sucker for it. Obviously new stuff as well, but I just love an old faithful. You flick around forever trying to find something to watch, and you're like, just watch Fight Club again.
Hey, you can never go wrong going back to Fight Club. Like,
you can never go wrong.
Even last week, I went back to watch the Three Ninjas. That was a fun one.
I've never seen it.
Oh, really? Yeah, I watched.
Should I have?
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a silly kids movie, but
hey, I love silly kids movies.
Like, I was watching Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah.
And finished that, and I was like, you know what? I feel like some more karate stuff. Three Ninjas. Here we go.
Yeah, I love something stupid every now and then. I watched something stupid the other day. I can't remember what it is now.
Yeah, and I've got BMX Bandits on the list next for my next throwback thing.
Get the Sandlot Kids in there too. That's a classic.
But yeah, apart from that, the new thing I was watching was season 2 of Servant has dropped on Apple TV Plus.
Absolutely, it has. Been waiting a long time.
Yeah, I think it's been almost a year.
Yeah, probably. But I remember when that first one came out, I waited for it because we're getting drip fed every Friday. 27-minute episode. I don't remember them being that short. Are they? Last time, maybe because I binged it. Like, I waited for them all to come out and I watched it all at once. But I don't remember the episodes being this short.
Yeah, I think they were a little longer. I don't think they were much longer. I think they might have been like 40 minutes. They were never an hour plus. But yeah, they do feel quite short this year. But I actually don't mind the length that they are at the moment. Yeah,
it's pretty good. The way they've gone about it. Because it's pretty slow. Like I was saying, the first episode was pretty slow and not a lot happened at all. It was barely a refresher at all. I almost needed to go back and watch the last couple of episodes of season 1.
Yeah, I sat there and actually watched the recap thing to make sure I knew what was going on.
Yeah, same. I'm sort of coming back to terms with it. I'm still a bit confused about the baby situation. Well, that's a bit vague, isn't it? Because the whole thing's about a baby. But no, the real baby. That's how they've taken that.
Yeah, I think that's what the thing is. Like, with these 35, 40-minute episodes, they have enough time to build the suspense and drip feed you little hints and stuff, but it's never, okay, this is dragging on. It's just enough time where you're like, what is about to happen? And then the show ends. It's like, oh, perfect. That gets me hooked for next week.
It's all been a bit tense, though.
His classic M. Night Shyamalan, bloody...
Yeah.
His style, like, you'll think one thing and then right in the last 5 minutes it'll just flick a switch and you're like, oh nope, I'm lost again.
Yeah, it just completely changes everything you were thinking in that episode. Like, oh, hang on. Some good acting in it, though, I've noticed this season. The characters, everything, everyone's like the polar opposite. So, like, the Ron Weasley character, he's just 100 mile an hour the whole time and just on a completely different level to everyone else. Then the dad, he's stressed out of his mind in, like, a different way to what the mum's sort of stressed. She's like a bit of a mental case, but they're both suffering. But I don't know, I just like how they're all opposite ends of the spectrum. Like no two people in this show on the same sort of wavelength.
Yep. Yeah. So this season's like picks up right where season 1 left off, where Jericho, the baby, has gone missing. Dorothy and Sean are both sort of dealing with the abduction of Jericho in their own way. Sean's sort of trying to keep the whole situation under wraps because it's hard to tell if they've made it known that, wait, this baby was real, or if they're still trying to go by the we just got a doll and it's to help her deal with her PTSD from the initial death of her baby. So it's hard to tell, like, does the wider public in this universe know that there was a real baby here and it's been abducted? Because, like, when the police come, they're trying to hide it.
There isn't much of a wider public. Like, there's sort of everything. The majority of it's filmed in the house. Then if you've got like the brother, the Ron Weasley, coming in,
yep.
Then his sort of partner / the mum's best friend, the therapist, and that's sort of it. You got the other guy that they hire, the private detective.
Yep.
Then it's like the people from the cult. There's no real public involved, is there?
You don't really see a lot of the outside the house. It's very claustrophobic in that way, where you feel stuck in this house the whole time.
Yeah, it's very dark too, like in more ways than one.
Actually, I thought it was too dark at points. I kept checking my iPad. I'm like,
yeah,
I got the brightness turned all the way down, and I was like, no, it's like full, and it's still really dark.
It's one of the ones you got to watch at night with like the lights off so you can see what's going on.
Yeah. And then so like Dorothy's struggling with the loss of the baby, so she's actually feels the most normal this season, whereas last season she was the wacky one.
Yeah, but at the end of the second episode, when she was on the news, she lost the plot a bit there. She's not all there, that's for sure.
Oh my God, hosting the news was so weird.
It was cringe, eh? I was like, what is going on here?
Even the co-anchor was just looking at it like, why are you talking like you're talking to a baby the whole time? Like, what are you doing?
Oh, and then she puts out the plea for Leanne missing as a sort of like a mind games thing. Then what's the episode finishes with Leanne ringing up? Hey.
Yeah, I think so. It sort of says that
the
baby's alive or something.
Yeah, I think she says, why are you looking for me?
Yep.
Yeah, I want her to she was the best character. I want her back. I can't wait to see how they return.
Yeah, I'm sure there is going to be more of Leanne coming back.
Yeah, even Leanne's dad, when that in the first season when he came over for dinner and he had them mangy shoes and that like dirty old suit. He was just a creepy character. I thought that was cool.
It's a really creepy show, like heaps of twists and turns, so you never sort of, just like we said, just when you think you're getting a track of it, it's like, nope, no, you totally have no idea.
I was thinking, if it's someone just watching it and they're just watching season 2 and never watched season 1, they would have no clue what's going on. It'll be so confusing because I'm lost and I knew what was going on in season 1.
Yep, yeah. If you haven't watched season 1, you definitely need to go back and watch it before you begin season 2, or you'll be like so lost immediately.
Like, it's not even entertaining. Like, you couldn't just sit down and I'll just watch this even if I don't know what's going on. But it's not entertaining in that way. It's like very makes you think.
Yep. Yeah, I'm interested to see where they go from here. Like,
yeah, I wonder how many episodes. I don't think it says. Probably 8, I assume.
Season 1 was 9, 10 actually, so it's probably about the same.
Yeah.
It's not like Apple can't afford to make the same amount.
It's pretty good production and cinematography, eh? I rate it. Like, camera work's good.
I'm yet to see anything on Apple that has, like, really bad production value. Like, sometimes the storylines are a bit of duds, but that can happen on Netflix. That can happen on anything.
I want to watch Greyhound again, because that keeps popping up on Apple, like on the homepage.
That was really good.
Yeah, that was filmed really well.
But this week they dropped another show too, Losing Alice. I'm sort of looking at checking that one out.
Legit just about to mention, I was just about to mention it. That looks sick.
That looks really cool.
I was hoping it was a movie when I seen the preview for it. But yeah, I think the first episode came out last Friday. So
That's the annoying thing with Apple TV Plus. They're like, coming up, there's this thing, and you look at it and you're like, is that a TV show or is that a movie?
yeah, I was like, this looks sick. Like, I thought it was a movie, but no. But yeah, that looks very interesting. It's almost like Servant vibes too, eh? By the looks of it. Like something similar, vaguely similar sort of concept.
Yeah, it's some sort of weird, creepy...
Abduction sort of thing.
Yep. But then they've got, what else have they got coming up? They've got the new Justin Timberlake movie, Palmer. That looks really cool.
Well, I haven't seen that.
It's, yeah, about like a football coach that has a drug issue and then goes back to his hometown and struggles with being back in his hometown. That new Tom Holland movie, Cherry, looks awesome as well.
Oi, did I send you the trailer for that? Like the other week? Far out. It looks sick, man.
Yeah, I'm keen for that one to drop on, when's that drop? March 12th. Like, it still feels so far away, but in the meantime, we've got Servant and Palmer dropping on Friday.
That looks sick. I'm looking at it now. Far out. I'm definitely getting around that. You've got an Apple TV, eh? I need to get one because I can't watch on my TV like this because I want to watch like Apple TV stuff on my TV, but I can't.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't watch it on my TV. I just have to watch it on my iPad because it's on the iPad, but...
I just been watching Servant on my phone.
There is an Apple TV app on the PS5, so I can watch it on the TV if I want to, but I haven't been.
Well, now as a proud owner of a PS5, I'll be looking into that.
Oh, you got one?
Yeah, I got one for Christmas.
That's a awesome Christmas present.
Yeah, I wasn't even expecting it. I was very shocked.
Well done, whoever bought that.
Yes, very happy about that.
They had some long-term planning there. Well done.
Yeah, I must have contacts at Sony or something. Yeah, I've just been playing NBA 2K21. Story mode's sick.
Bro, how good does that look too?
Yeah, I'm very impressed. They put a lot of work into the story.
Just visually, that game is wild.
Yeah, it is good.
It's so easy to walk past and be like, oh, that person's just watching a game.
Yeah, it looks like it. I almost just want to put games on as like simulator and just watch the computer play each other.
Yeah, whenever there's not an actual NBA game on.
Yeah, just watch PS5 play each other. But yeah, what other games should I be playing?
I played Call of Duty. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Like, especially with the new controller, like all the elements in the controller are really highlighted.
Are you playing online?
I have been. Yeah, I played online. It's really fun.
I think what Call of Duty's out for PS5?
Is Black Ops Cold War.
Oh, yeah. Did you buy it, like disc, or download it?
Disc.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because JB Hi-Fi had it cheap, like $79 or something on release day. And I literally this week just finished, it's an older game from PS4, Ghost of Tsushima. And it's like a samurai open world game. That was really good.
You played Spider-Man, yeah?
Miles Morales, yep.
Is that alright? I've never been into those sorts of games, but I think it looks pretty cool, eh? Is it hard to play?
No, super easy and looks awesome, like with the 60 frames per second.
You've got an 8K TV too, eh?
4K, yeah. So yeah, 4K, 60 frames is awesome. It looks awesome, and it's a good one too because the storyline, like if you play that game, you don't have to commit to 60 hours or whatever it's going to be. Like it's literally like 15, 20 hours to get through the whole story. It's easy.
Yeah.
Nice introduction to Spider-Man. On other stuff I've watched, I went back and watched a movie from 2014 that's now on Netflix called Dracula Untold.
Yeah, I had a quick look at this. I didn't get a chance to watch it.
It's a reinterpretation of, obviously, the Dracula origin story.
There's so many ways you can just retell it, eh, and still stick with the same sort of concept, because that Dracula miniseries I watched on Netflix, that was cool.
Yeah, so this is very reminiscent of that, particularly right at the end. So this one,
oh yeah,
Dracula is sort of the monster alter ego of Vlad the Impaler, which is kind of close to what most people count as where the legend of Dracula comes from.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting take on the story. It's got a very like comic book feel, but still really dark and brooding tone, which makes it really interesting. The CGI and stuff is really captivating. Pretty gruesome at times, but really good.
Yep.
And the ending, which, like I said, is very reminiscent of that Dracula TV show on Netflix.
Yeah, well, that was the best part of it. That whole thing, I love that ending. So this would make me want to watch this movie.
This ends like with Dracula in modern times, so
yeah, that's sick.
I'm like, oh, I want a sequel to this movie, but as of today, there is nothing announced in terms of a sequel, but surely.
Yeah, well, 7 years ago.
When it did come out, Universal were talking about making it part of their monster universe, so alongside Frankenstein, The Invisible Man, The Mummy, etc.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, nothing official at the moment, so hopefully at some point down the line, once sort of production and cinemas all get back up on their feet, they'll start rolling that out.
Yeah, I was just thinking, that reminded me, Taboo we're watching, like, damn, this needs a sequel, but then again, that was like 5 years old when we watched it, and there's nothing, so hopeful, but won't get hopes up too high.
I looked at the budget and stuff, and this one cost them $100 million, so it wasn't a cheap movie, but they made 215.5 back, so if you can double your money, surely that's worth investing in a sequel.
I was just looking now, this Dracula, it's got Sarah Gadon in it. She played Sadie in 11/22/63, one of my all-time favourite shows.
Yep.
Blonde Girl. Interesting.
It's actually a really enjoyable movie. Like, I went into it not expecting much. I was like, okay, yeah, this is going to be a cheesy Netflix horror movie with Dracula in it, but it was actually really cool. Like, big epic war scenes and Dracula just wrecking shop through soldiers. Like, awesome.
What's the go with the big war scenes? That looks different, eh? It's sort of like a Lord of the Rings cross.
Yeah, so it's like Vlad is obviously the ruler of Transylvania or wherever it was, and then the Turks come and try to invade, and then he just fights back and just destroys them because he's superpowered. Really cool.
Could be something light-hearted to watch tonight.
Yep. Yeah, that's what we did. We just chucked it on like a Sunday Ava or something. It was perfect.
One I watched, I remember seeing a trailer for it when I went to the movies. Maybe when I went to see Joker at the movies. So way back then. It's called Yesterdays. Very, very well-written story. It's about this guy, one for the Beatles fans out there too. So it's about this sort of pub musician, and he's sort of getting nowhere, and he wants to give it up. Like, he's just playing to 5 people in these little English pubs, these tiny towns. But his friends keep saying, like, he's talented, so his friends keep encouraging him to keep going. Anyway, he's riding home from a gig one night, and he gets hit by a bus. But the reason he got hit by a bus is the world had a blackout. Like, the whole world had a blackout. The whole planet blacked out for 12 seconds, and everything, the lights, everything just stopped. And in that 12 seconds, he was just unlucky that when the lights went off, he got hit by a bus when he was riding his push bike. Anyway, when he wakes up in hospital, he sort of starts noticing things that, like, everyday things that, like, Coca-Cola, for example, doesn't exist anymore, and it never did exist. And he Googles it, looks stuff up, like big well-known things, and they've just been wiped from the face of, like, memory. Anyway, so when he gets out of hospital, he's at the pub. Because his guitar got wrecked when he gets hit by the bus, his friends buy him a new guitar, and they say, "Hey, sing us something." So he sings "Yesterday" by the Beatles. Does a good little cover of that, and they're like in tears, like in shock. The friends like, "That was so beautiful. Like, when did you write that?" And he's like, "You're kidding me, aren't you?" Like, what do you mean? When did I write that? Like, that's one of the Beatles' greatest songs.
That's one of the most well-known songs of all time.
Yeah, and he starts getting really pissed off at them because they're not like he thinks they're joking and they're not breaking joke. And he's anyway, he goes home, Googles the Beatles, and there's nothing. It comes up with like a Beatle on Google search.
Wow.
Then he Googles everything and looks up these songs, and there's nothing. So he gets this idea. He tries to remember all the lyrics, all the chords for every Beatles discography, basically, and he starts rewriting and re-recording all the Beatles songs as his own. And he anyway, he gets picked up by Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran finds out about it. So Ed Sheeran plays a bit of a pretty big role in this movie, which isn't bad. It's not cheesy and not out of place. It's sort of a bit of a fun concept. And, it's like touring the world in stadiums and whatnot as pretty much the Beatles. It's very cool.
That does sound cool. Like, can you imagine waking up and realizing that, hey, Coca-Cola doesn't exist, something like the Beatles or Apple doesn't exist? Like, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, it was pretty much that. Like all these massive things, they're like huge discoveries or inventions, and there was a cool little thing at the end of the film. So he looks up John Lennon, and he's like, obviously John Lennon's just this everyday bloke, and he's alive. So he goes and visits him. He lives in this little country seaside little cottage. And it's pretty cool. It looks exactly like what John Lennon would at 80. Like got the glasses on, long hair, just a little sort of run down. And the guy, the character just gives him a massive hug, and the John Lennon's like, "What is going on? Like, are you okay?"
Who is this creepy dude?
Yeah, he walks up and he's like, "I'm so glad you're alive." And this guy's like, "What?" He's just got no idea who he is. It's pretty funny, pretty cool little concept. A great movie.
That does sound pretty good.
Yeah, it's very feel good. A few tears at the end, man. It was a bit like that. Good, nice little ending. Bit watery.
I'll have to check that one out. I have seen that floating around since it sort of came out. I'm like,
yeah, I forgot all about it.
Yeah, I should check that out. Yeah, it sounds like it's a really good one.
I think on Stan had it.
Where have I seen it? Yeah, it's definitely on one of the streaming services because I keep seeing it popping up. And I'm like, oh yeah, got to watch that one day. Just haven't got around to it yet.
Yeah, I've been doing the rounds lately, on Stan, Netflix, and Amazon. I'm jumping around, and now Apple. So there's more stuff on Apple. I've just noticed it popping up, little gems. So they're starting to really come into it.
Yeah, I think this year, now that they're sort of a year into the Apple TV Plus Pro experiment, I think they're going to start pumping out heaps more stuff.
They didn't have much to start with, eh?
Yeah, I think they had Servant or The Morning Show, whatever it was.
They got more money than anyone else, so they want to have some good stuff. Yeah, what was that? That was like Whoopi Goldberg or something, wasn't it?
The Morning Show was Steve Carell.
What am I thinking of?
Oprah had a show on there, it was basically the Oprah show, but not the Oprah show.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. So
yeah, Morning Wars had Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, and Steve Carell, stacked cast, and it's still my favorite show on the service.
Yep.
But yeah, Servant is quickly gathering steam on that one too.
Speaking of Steve Carell, I noticed on one of the stream services, Little Miss Sunshine. I haven't watched that movie in years. That's a classic.
Yeah, I haven't watched that in ages.
I think who else? Ezra Miller might be in it. I think there's Tony Collette in it. I don't know. A very good movie. Yeah, I'll watch that too, I reckon. But speaking of, I think I just mentioned Whoopi Goldberg. She was in something else I've watched and it's called The Stand.
Yes. Yeah, you told me about this show and I was like, okay.
What was it on?
It's on Amazon Prime, yeah.
Yeah, where did I see it? I was like, this looks sick. 5 episodes, banged them out. 5-hour episodes, banged it out the other night. Couldn't put it down. Yeah, this limited series. So it's it's based on a Stephen King novel from, I think, the 70s.
Yep.
Which is weirdly freaky because what it's about is it's pretty much COVID times right now. So it's about this infectious virus that goes around and it's wiping out the whole planet, basically early Wuhan COVID days. It's just extremely infectious. People are getting around in masks, but it sort of turns people into I'm not going to say zombies, but they get zombie-ish.
Yeah, they just sort of get real angry, bloated up, and then they die.
But it's based around this character he's immune to it. So they find out there's a few people in the world who are immune to it and they can't get it. So they want to do tests on it, but it's eventually, the virus gets out of control and they can't, all the people the army that are controlling and pretty much making these immune people as prisoners. It's eerily relevant to right now. I couldn't believe it.
When I started watching, I was like, what? Was this written last year in response to it? And then I was like, oh no, it's based on an old book.
Yeah, it's like a 1970 Stephen King novel, but obviously we all know he's an absolute genius. But I'd like to know the difference between the book and how much they've tweaked it to be like COVID in the series.
Yeah, that's true. They could have, changed bits and pieces to make it a little bit closer to what's going on.
It was scarily similar to what's going on with COVID. I was like, whoa. But yeah, they've released it at the right time. It deserves to take off, I reckon. It's very good.
Yeah, and it's got sort of fantasy, supernatural elements in there as well. It's a very interesting show.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Episode 3, I think episode 3, it started to get very sci-fi. Yeah, and then there was this like supernatural aspects as well. But I think another cool thing too, I think you start to come in the last episode. I think the last episode's called Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. So they have Las Vegas, as they call it, New Vegas. And it's like this quarantine city.
Yep.
Oh, I wouldn't say quarantine city. It's where all the people who are immune, they go to. And they just party and they're the ones left. And
yeah, there seems to be like these two communities have sort of come together after they've realized. So you've got the really nice people all together in like Denver or wherever it is, Colorado somewhere.
Yeah.
And then you've just got all the people that just want to go and just go wild and do whatever over in Vegas, which is fitting for Vegas.
Yeah, so that's all. Like, they're younger people. Yeah, and but it's very vicious, hey, that Vegas concept. So I think they, instead of like gambling on the tables and whatnot, they have these almost gladiator arenas, you would call them, hey, in the nightclubs. And
yeah, just fight pits, just fight to the death.
They get people who are infected, I think it was, and put them in a cage, and everyone's like gambling and dressed up, like betting on this, almost like cockfighting, but real humans who are infected by this virus because they're going to die anyway. Like, they have no cure.
Yep.
So yeah, it's very, very brutal. That
I was really enjoying the first couple of episodes when it was all about the virus and people trying to survive it. Once it injected those supernatural sci-fi things, I was like, this is a weird turn.
It was a weird change, hey? It was still very enjoyable. I do recommend it. But yeah, I thought it was a weird sort of turn of events. Once it started to get a bit sci-fi, I wasn't expecting that. But that's Stephen King, I guess.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, it's got the longer running time of sort of 55 to an hour plus.
So it took me 5 hours to get off the lounge and watch the whole thing. I was up until like 4:30 a.m. watching it on a school night.
It's like very contrasting to The Servant, which has those short, punchy, concise stories, whereas this one has like the really long, drawn-out things, which I actually don't think helps this at all. Like,
nah,
there is so much happening in each episode where you're like, hang on a second.
I was sort of thinking, because the first couple of episodes that looked like it could have been a film, I was like, this is a long movie. Like, I didn't see a reason it had to be like a 5-episode series. Like, you could have definitely made it a 2.5-hour movie easy.
Yep. Yeah, but then once they injected those sort of supernatural sci-fi things, you need to make it a bit longer. You
can tell they dragged it out a bit, I think, to make it a series.
Yep.
Because it could have easily been shortened to a movie, but it did remind me a lot about I Am Legend.
Mm-hmm. So I was looking at it. This show is going. It's a 9-episode run, so we're about halfway through. So I'm sort of. I think I'll stick around to the end, but like if something.
Oh, you're talking about Servant?
No, the Stand.
Oh, is it? What do you mean? Is it 9 episodes?
Yep, I looked at it on Wiki.
You serious? I watched 5. I thought that was it. It was only 5 out. You're kidding. What a fool.
Amazon's doing the weekly release thing.
Wow. Well, there you go.
Set for 9 episodes, I'm pretty sure it was.
Ignore everything I just said about it being a dragged out movie then. I thought it was, because I didn't know it was week by week. Yeah, there you go. I thought they would just put 5 out and that was it, and I watched all 5. And well, that's a little bit exciting. At least I can watch some more.
Yeah, there's 9 episodes.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
And the last episode is written by Stephen King, so that will probably be the real big one. But
hectic.
Yes, so far, like, I'm enjoying it, and I want to see where they go in these last 4 episodes. But like, if something crazy popped up on Netflix or Stan that really captured me, I could easily see myself dropping this show, just because there is so much going on, and I feel like if I don't stay on top of it, I'm going to get lost and then just be like, I can't go back.
Yeah.
Unless I go back and restart and binge the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like the way you watched it, I think is the best way too. Because I sort of watched an episode at a time, and like by episode 3, I was like, what happened in the first 2? And you have to really pay attention the whole time.
Yeah, that's sort of one of them. But I'm glad there's more. I'm just looking at the screen grab now from the next episode. It looks a bit freaky. Yeah, so it's definitely it looked a bit wholesome the first episode or two, didn't it? Oh, this is cool. Then yeah, it started to get a bit weird.
Yeah, that first two episodes make you think it's going to be all about what's his name, Harold.
Yeah, Stu.
Yes, Stu, played by James Marsden, and then Harold, the younger kid that like.
Oh yeah.
Sort of gets bullied and then takes Franny with him to go to Denver and like try and. I thought it was going to be all about those three, and then you get there and there's like Mother Abigail, who's Whoopi Goldberg, and then you get.
Yeah, I forgot all about that kid. Yeah, that was a weird sort of twist, hey, and how she ends up with that Stu character.
Stu, yeah, and then you get Randall Flagg, all these other characters and stuff. It's like, oh my god, there's so much going on here.
Yeah, Amber Heard's in it too. I was watching. I was like, is that Amber Heard? I didn't know she was.
It's a pretty stacked cast.
She's obviously found time in between suing Johnny Depp to do something new.
Mm-hmm.
I looked up the actress who plays Franny. She's born in Sydney. She's Australian.
Oh, is she?
Desi Young.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't know why I would maybe look her up. I think maybe she looked familiar. Like, familiar in the way that, like, do I know this person?
Yeah, well, I never would have picked that.
Yeah, she's just like, what, 21 or something from Sydney?
Interesting.
Yeah, she was pretty good, eh?
Yeah, so...
Yeah, I'm just looking at other stuff now. Yeah, well, that's pretty cool then. I thought it was just finished.
Yeah, no, you've got 4 more episodes, 4 more weeks.
Because I swear that episode was, that episode 5 sort of finished in the way that the show's finished. Wow, that's mad. Well, then I'll come back to this. I'll retouch next time. I think it looks like episode 6 is out now, so I might get onto that. Hectic.
So yeah, there's 3 more episodes, so this will finish roughly a week or 2 before your next episode, so we can come back and see how it all wrapped up and see if it's any good by the end of the 9. So far, so good, but like I said, could easily drop off.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I'd like to, like I said, I'd like to know the difference between this and the book.
Might have to add that to my 12 books in a year list.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen you're doing 12. So I had that goal last year. So I was in 1 a month. I ended up reading 24.
You're mental.
So I was doing a book of fortnight. But I've just finished my 2nd for the year this year. As of you, I am led to believe.
Yeah, on Thursday night I finished 2 of the second one of the year. And
so you're on track for 24 as well then?
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to finish another one by the end of this month. Not with the way work's going to be the next couple of weeks, but...
Yeah. No, I love it, man. I'm hating to read now. I never used to read at all.
Yeah. Like I was laying in bed, I was reading a chapter, and it got to like 10 o'clock. I was like, okay, time for bed. And then I looked at the book and I was like, there is like a chapter left. Let's just finish this now.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point just closing this now and then coming back, because it's like Lauren was here Friday night, so I wouldn't have read it again until maybe tonight. If not tonight, it wouldn't have been until Wednesday, and I was just like, let's just finish this now.
Yeah.
Would have been silly to wait almost a week before I read the last chapter. So
you got next one lined up?
I'm thinking The Road, but I'm not sure, because I've tried to read it before, and it's a difficult one because there's no chapters in it.
Oh yeah.
It's literally just like one story that just flows through the whole book. So it's like, at least when there's chapters, you can sort of give yourself a goal of
just stopping, put the bookmark in, pick it up next day.
Yep, yeah, I can just read this chapter, read 2 chapters a night and feel like you're accomplishing something. But this one, it's kind of like, where do I stop? And then if I stop here,
am I going to forget?
Am I going to pick up where I am, or am I going to have to go back and read like the last 4 or 5 pages?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Double up all the time. So it's a hard one.
Use as motivation to start it and finish it one sitting. Cancel a day and do that.
Yeah, I might bump that one back a bit and read something short and sweet with this next few weeks of work.
I've got my next one ready to go. Very excited.
What are you jumping on?
It's by Craig Silvey. He's probably the novel he's most famous for, Jasper Jones.
Okay, yep.
Because I read a novel, Honeybee, last year, and it was incredible. And apparently this one's This one won heaps of awards. It's probably, I think it's from 2007 or something. But yeah, very excited to get into that. Yeah, I was very impressed with Honeybee, which is getting very popular now. People are catching on, which is good.
Nice.
So yeah.
What would be your top recommendation for the week?
Yeah, Yesterday's. That was sick. Very wholesome movie.
For me, it is The Servant, but like we said, make sure you've watched all of season 1, and if you haven't watched any of it now's the perfect time to go back and begin, because you've got a whole season, and if you watch like an episode or two every day, you'll have, by the time you catch up, almost 2 seasons worth.
Because I feel like season one never sort of got really popular, did it? So we need to get it back out there and push it more. People need to watch Servant. It was very cool. It's not scary either. It looks scary. If you watch a trailer, you think it's scary. It's not. It's just creepy. It's
just, a thriller, like constantly makes you think. And yeah, because it was locked on Apple TV Plus, I think that's why it didn't sort of get the following. But now it's sort of been a year, so there's plenty of time for people to have bought new Apple products where you get a year's subscription. They just launched the new iPhone, so I'm assuming heaps of people got the new iPhone.
Yeah.
With that, you've now got a whole year of this service, so jump on.
It's only $8 anyway. It's one of the cheap ones.
Like, I bought my iPad last year, got a year, got a new iPhone this year, got another year, so I'm sweet.
Yeah, that's nice.
Thank you for listening to the commentary booth. If you enjoyed the show, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe. You can support us over on Patreon at patreon.com/JamieAppsMedia. Keep an eye on there. I think there's going to be some teasers of what I'm working on coming up shortly. You can follow me on social media at JamieAppsMedia, and you can follow Blake over on Twitter at Captain Crumbs with a Z.
Thank you.
The Commentary Booth is a fan-funded production of Jamie Apps Media. You can support the podcast alongside our magazine Jam Zine over on Patreon at patreon.com/Jamie Apps Media. The following people supported at the Jam publisher level or higher, and you cannot fathom how incredibly appreciative we are for their support. Brian and June Hart, Courtney Paulson, Tracy Apps.